So hello guys, I'm going to discuss about the importance, composition, and properties of air, water, and soil. So let's proceed to air. Air is important for living things. Breathing is part of a process called respiration. During respiration, a living thing takes in oxygen from the air and gives out carbon dioxide. This process gives animals and plants the energy to eat, grow, and live life. The air in our atmosphere is composed of molecules of different gases. The first common gases are nitrogen, which is composed of 78%, oxygen about 21%, and argon almost 1%. Other molecules present in the atmosphere as well, but in very small quantities. So let's proceed to the properties of air. First, it takes up space. Air has a mass. Third, air is affected by heat. Fourth, air exerts pressure and it can be compressed. Last is affected by altitude. So let's proceed to water. Water is one of the most important, and animals must have water to survive. If there is no water, there would be no life on Earth. Water is a chemical compound and polar molecule which is liquid at standard temperature and pressure. It is the chemical formula H2O, meaning that one molecule of water is composed of 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen atom. Water is found almost everywhere on Earth and is required all known life. About 70% of the Earth's surface is covered by water. That's true. So now let's proceed to the properties of water. Water is polar. Water is an excellent solvent. It has high heat capacity and it has high heat vaporization. Water has cohesive and adhesive properties. Last, water is less dense as a solid than as a liquid. So let's proceed to soil. Soil is our life support system. It holds water and nutrients. Soils are home to myriad microorganisms and decomposed organic matter, and armies of microscopic animals as well as earthworms and termites rebelled on soil as well as with it and in it. The basic components of soils are minerals, organic matter, water, and air. The typical soil consists of approximately 45% mineral, 5% organic matter, 20 to 30% water, and 20 to 30% air. These percentages are only generations at best. In reality, soil is very complex and dynamic. The composition of soil can fluctuate on a daily basis, depending on numerous factors such as water supply, cultivation practices, and or soil type. Properties of soil. First, the texture, yes of course. Second, the structures. Third, porosity. Fourth, chemistry, and the last is color. So let's proceed to the pollutant emissions. So we can see that there are many pollutants emissions. There are natural, lightning, volcanoes, wildfires. So area, cities, livestock, fertilizer, oil and gas. So institutionary, there are industry, power plants, sewage treatment. So in mobile, airplanes, cars, trucks, and buses. Agricultural activities, waste in landfills, exhaust from factories and industries, mining operations, indoor air pollution, natural events. They can even lead to a person's death. That's the purpose. Long-term health effects from air pollution include heart disease, lung cancer, and respiratory diseases such as emphysema. Air pollution can also cause long-term damage to people's nerves, brain, kidneys, liver, and other organisms. That was the result or the effects that we cause air pollution. So now let's proceed. Sources of water pollution. First, runoff of agricultural wastewater. Second, boat explosion. Third, trash dump in the ocean. Fourth, wastewater discharge pipe source from the Department of Agriculture. Next, let's proceed to various causes of water pollution. First, industrial waste, sewage and wastewater, mining activities, marine dumping, accidental oil leakage, the burning of fossil fuels, chemicals, fertilizer and pesticides, leakage from sewer lines, global warming, radioactive waste, urban development, leakage from the landfills, animal waste, underground storage leakage, eutrophication, acid rain. So, effects of water pollution: destruction of aquatic flora and fauna, drinking water supplies, food chain, economic downturns, and lastly, which is agriculture. And now, let's proceed to the sources of soil pollution. The first source is from domestic waste. Second, agricultural waste. Third, industrial waste. Fourth, excretory products. Fifth is the salination. The industrial causes of soil pollution. First, industrial waste. Second, bad soil management. Third, fuel leakage. Then the effects is in decrease in soil fertility, soil erosion, toxic dust. So now let's proceed to of noise pollution. Household sources. Second, social events. Third, commercial and industrial activities. Last but not the least, transportation. So there are 4 subtopics of noise pollution. Now let's proceed to cause of the noise pollution. So first is the traffic noise. Second is the aircraft noise. Third, noise from the construction works. Fourth, noise from the industries. Last but not the least is the horns, explosion, and etc. So now let's proceed to the effects of noise pollution. So these are the several effects. First is the noise pollution affects both health and behavior. Second, unwanted sound can damage psychological health. Third, can cause annoyance, aggression, hypertension, high stress levels, hearing loss, sleep disturbances, and other harmful effects. Now let's proceed to the major sources of thermal pollution are discharge of heated water or hot waste material into water bodies from the following. So these are the thermal pollution major sources: nuclear power plant, coal-fired power plant, hydroelectric power plant, thermal shock, industrial effluents, domestic sewage, deforestation, and lastly soil erosion. Causes of thermal: coal-fired power plants, nuclear power plants, soil erosion, deforestation, domestic sewage, and natural causes. So now let's proceed to the effects of thermal pollution. So the first effect is changes in water temperature and changes to the aquatic environment. Some species are not able to tolerate the temperature differences and die off. The whole aquatic ecosystem is affected change, so we can see in the picture that it can affect our environment. So source, nuclear weapon. The causes of nuclear weapon is nuclear reaction. We all know that. The second is ashes. Then, if there are causes, let's assume that there's an effect. So the effect of nuclear reaction and ashes is blast injury, thermal radiation, ionizing radiation, and residual radiation. So now let's talk about the situation in the Philippines. What was the situation in the Philippines in the air pollution? Before the lockdown, the Philippines rated out of 98 countries in IQAir as the world's most polluted countries. So now let's proceed to flood mitigation. They include flood walls, sea walls, floodgates, and evacuation routes. Non-structural measures reduce damage by removing people and property out of risk areas. They include elevated structures, property buyouts, permanent relocation, zoning, subdivision, and building codes. So now let's proceed on how are we going to mitigate earthquakes. Seek shelter under tables or under door frames. If outside, stay away from buildings, bridges, and electricity pylons, and move to open areas. Third, avoid areas at risk from secondary causes such as landslides, rockfall, and soil liquefaction. Third, after an earthquake, check gas, water, electricity pipes, and lines for damage. So now let's go to cyclone mitigation. Encompasses the action and planning taken before a tropical cyclone strikes to mitigate damage and injury from the storm. Regional specialized meteorological center and tropical cyclone warning center. So now let's proceed to landslide mitigation. So hazards are mitigated mainly through precautionary means, for instance by resisting or even removing population from areas with history of landslide, de-restricting certain types of land use, slopes, stability in question, and by installing early warning system based on monitoring on ground conditions such as storm in rocks and soil, slope displacement, and water levels. So first, modifying slope geometry. Second, using chemical agent to reinforce material. Third, installing structures such as piles and retaining walls. Fourth, routing rock drains and fissures. Fifth is diverting debris pathways. Last is rerouting surface and underwater drainage. So that was the end of the presentation, and I hope you have learned such things, and in order for you to know on how we are going to mitigate such certain phenomena that